someone has some elderly family members or family member, elderly, what we consider to be elderly, I put it that way. What we consider to be elderly is, people that is well up in age. We look at them that way. We look at them as elderly people, okay? But most of them, even though they might be up in age, they still get around pretty good and do just about anything that they want to do. Just about. So what I'm picking up in my spirit is somebody's elderly parent or grandparent. That generation where they come from, they practice things like witchcraft and black magic and stuff like that. That's just what they did in their generation. That was just the way of life in that generation. Okay? That's how they did things. That's how they got their way. That's how they got what they wanted. That's how they controlled and manipulated younger people. Because the younger people wasn't even aware. Okay, and I just got a notification. That was confirmation. The younger people, like I was saying, they are not aware. But that generation knows that the younger generation, and the younger the generation is, they are not aware of the way that particular generation operated, because that was just their way of life. Okay, that's just how they roll, period. They did all kind of stuff, but they used a whole lot of so-called magic. They was involved in it. They did everything with it. They controlled everybody with it. I mean, they got married with it. They got money with it. I'm talking about they caused other people to lose their life with it. I mean, they did a lot. And they was working this stuff all the time because that was just what they did to get what they wanted and to control things and to control everybody else. So this is a download that I got. Now, I had a dream one time. It ain't been that long ago. In this dream, I was in the house with these two very old. I couldn't tell how old they were, but you could tell they were very up in age. Two women, very much up in age. And they lived in this big old, looked like just a big old, scary looking, raggedy house. Yeah, the house went raggedy. It's just they were so old until they were too old to see what was going on in the house. But they had all this stuff laying around everywhere, just everything all over the place. And they were just sitting there in these chairs, just laughing. They're looking at each other, just laughing. And I was in there walking around. Now, I don't know if that was a dream or what, but it was a vision. And I was walking around in there. They saw me walking around there. They just still just laughing because, they see me, but they so old until they don't care about too much of anything. But they had all this money in there, laying around everywhere, just big old stacks. I'm talking about this money it was in wraps, money wraps, just stacks of it. I mean, it was just laying all over everywhere in them stacks, that all that other stuff they had in there. Money was just laying around, laying around. And they were looking at me and they were just laughing, sitting in front of this fireplace, just sniggling, sniggling, sniggling. And I don't know if I picked up some of the money. I don't know. I might have did. Picked up some of the money, and they weren't saying that. They were just sitting there. I don't know. I picked it up and I walked out the door with it, and they were just sniggling, sniggling, sniggling. And the reason why they were sniggling, because they knew something that I didn't. This was they were sniggling about. Okay, but they didn't care nothing about their money. They did not care not 1 iota. They were too old to spend it. And plus, they had done. These women, I'm telling you, they look ancient. They look like they were very old. I'm talking about old witches is what they looked like. Whatever you think that might look like, that's what they looked like. And so when I had that dream or vision, I didn't know. I kept wondering, what was that all about? What was that all about? So I got a revelation. And the revelation is, them people in that generation, this is what God showed me. That's what they did. That's what all they did. That's how they got everything that they had. It's through magic. Period. I mean, some of they were spiritual people. They were spiritualists. These people were people that had gifts. They were people that, I mean, they did a lot of stuff in the spirit. They ain't do nothing in the physical. They would do stuff in the spirit where nobody would know they was doing that. Nobody had a clue why people were dying mysteriously, why people were being accidents, and just all kind of stuff that was going on with people that know everybody, oh, that was just an accident, or oh, that's a coincidence, and this happened and that happened, and this man left his wife and that wife left, and they knew what they was doing it. They were the one behind the scene. These people, some of them went to church. A whole lot of them did. A whole lot of them, they went to church. So, a lot of times when older people be going to church, nobody don't suspect them. And see, they know nobody suspects them. Because most of the time, sometimes when a person reaches a certain age and they out of the circulation, a lot of time people don't even think about them. But they still be behind the scenes doing stuff in the spirit. They still be operating in spirit because that's just their way of life. Okay? So a lot of you all got people that's older people in your family. That's what they doing. That's just their way of life. But they in your family, they are manipulating every situation in everybody's life that's in your family. Period. And I'm telling you, if you don't have trouble with relationships, it's them. If you having problem with money, it's them. If you having trouble with your health, it's them. If you having problem with the law, it's them. Now listen, I'm just telling you, this is the download that I have, because this is what the Holy Spirit revealed to me. It's them elderly people that we call elderly. We call them that. They don't see themselves that way. I want y'all to know that. I don't care. I don't care if they 90 years old. They still don't see themselves that way. Them people still be trying to do things just like they always have. And I mean, with relationships and stuff like that. But some of them ain't. But a lot of them are. They are in your family. They are still manipulating behind the scenes, and they running stuff. And when y'all when y'all be warring with stuff in the spirit, y'all warring with the spirits that they are sending you. Now, some of y'all know that about y'all elderly family members, but some of y'all don't realize that's where it's coming from. It's coming from them. This is what the Holy Spirit revealed to me. Okay, now they finna get ready to pass on.